This is the Voice for Real Estate podcast. Today, a special edition of Voice for Real Estate, Coastal Home Tour. Coastal Home Tour takes you on a tour of coastal neighborhoods. Your tour guides are knowledgeable and experienced coastal Carolina realtors who know this neighborhood. Listen as they talk about properties, lifestyle, and amenities in this neighborhood.
Here we are for another edition of Voice for Real Estate, and I'm really excited about this special edition because we're going to take a tour of a coastal home in the Gates and Wild Dunes, and it's very special, y'all. So let's meet the parties involved here. We've got Trae Redmond. You're the builder, right, Trae?
Yes, Bill, that's correct.
And then Misty, you're going to help him sell that house, right?
I hope so. That's the goal here.
So, and y'all are with King Society, and then Trae, you're with King and Society Construction. But yes, I want to ask you something, Misty. Let's pretend Trae's not even here, okay? Just for a second, okay? I've heard you talk since we've been planning to have this podcast last couple of weeks. Whenever you talk about this gentleman sitting next to you, you get excited, and you get excited in a way that's so sincere and from your roots. So tell me why. What is it about his craftsmanship and what he does that gets you so excited?
Yeah, I love Trae. I think he's a great addition to our team. He's been with us for a few years now. The projects that he has built for King and Society Construction are, they speak volume to his craftsmanship and, his vendors of choice in the community that he uses to bring to these projects. He brings a sense of calmness and structure to our team. And with his prior education at the Citadel and a military background, I think that in itself probably, tells you where all of that comes from.
Discipline, yes.
Yes, definitely. And in construction, that is something that you definitely have to have.
Discussing the way Trae is and his discipline and craftsmanship, it must make it easier for you to represent the product, does it not?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Trae, now that we're over with the love fest about you now, okay? You've done a lot of new construction, but it's been in commercial. Can you tell the viewers, does that help you when you're building residential properties?
Absolutely. So on the commercial side, there's a lot of structure. It's really process driven, more so sometimes than you normally see on the residential side. And before I answer that question, I remember growing up, my dad was a builder in the Charleston area. And I always used to remember being on his job sites, 8, 9, 10 years old. And there was always kind of a level of structure and organization that my dad was able to kind of orchestrate on his projects. And you fast forward, 20 years later, when I started my career out in commercial, what I was able to do was capture some of those ideas and some of those processes and best practices. And I've kind of transitioned some of those over into the residential side to try to add a little bit more structure. Now, at the end of the day, we want to try to remain as flexible as we can for our clients because we are building, high-end luxury custom homes. And so that word custom means it sometimes is an evolving process. But yes, I've been able to kind of really capture some of the processes and procedures that I was able to use, for example, at the cigar factory and kind of bring that over into the residential side of things, which really kind of helps make the project move a little bit more quicker. It's a little bit more organized. It really prevents rework and mistakes. And, we have different QC processes and checks and balances in place to really provide that ultimate, excellent standard to our clients.
Podcasting has exploded in popularity, especially local podcasts. As of 2022, 62% of Americans have listened to a podcast. 38% have listened in the last month. 26% in the last week. The podcasting audience is booming with no signs of slowing down. Call the podcast hotline to be featured on these podcasts or to receive information about podcast marketing. Call 843-530-0403 or visit carolinapodcasts.com.
You're listening to the Voice for Real Estate podcast, a conversation about coastal Carolina real estate.
I think, too, Trae, just talking through the process, the way you describe that and stuff, a lot of whether it's a new relationship or a long-term relationship, gaining that respect from your client through this process you're talking about really helps the process itself, does it not?
Yeah, 100%. We're really in the business of building relationships. Our end product is a custom home, but throughout this process, most of the time, Bill, this is a 16 to a 24-month, what I call design build cycle, where we're actively working with our clients in developing their preliminary designs all the way through, kind of final construction documents, then all the way through construction. And we also even, assist now we have a customer care program where we also do the maintenance on these homes after they've been built.
In your career, how many homes have you built? How many residential homes have you built?
I'm a Charleston native, born and raised. So I started off in the early 2000s working for a production builder, Syntex Homes. And I probably built for them while I was there over 500 homes. Then I transitioned into commercial construction and got to do really cool projects like the cigar factory downtown. I got to do the VA PTSD clinic, which hit really close to home because I've also served in Afghanistan. And then I fast forward into the custom home world, and I've probably built 50 or more high-end custom homes in the last 10 or 12 years.
And what's the largest one you've ever built?
So the largest home I've built was on Daniel Island, and the main house itself was about 11,000 square feet. And then we ended up adding about another 4,000 to that project along the way. So it ended up capping out about 15,000.
I want to talk about why we're here, if you don't mind, besides introducing you guys. You got an awesome house you're getting ready to come out of the ground with on Waterway Island inside the wild dunes. Like every magazine I publish, there's something special about it. Trae, what is special about this house that captivates you a little bit, that sets it apart from other things you've done?
Sure. So I would start by saying the team that we have in place really makes this a unique and very special opportunity. So King and Society, it, as a whole, has a real estate division and a construction division. So every day, Misti and her team and me and my team are working hand in hand to really put together the best package that we can before we even start, turning dirt and moving dirt on a job site. And so I think this project really got started from that perspective where, in real estate, it's all about location. And this lot is absolutely in the epicenter of kind of what's going on around the Isle of Palms Marina area. It's really tucked away in wild dunes so you can have a little bit of seclusion and privacy when needed. And then you step to your backyard and then you've got the Isle of Palms Marina kind of at your back doorstep. And so from a location standpoint, there's not many homes available that really kind of check all the boxes like this one does.
So the location is one of the things that you really like about this house.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we could have the best designed home, but if Misti and her team doesn't give us the not only the correct location, but the lot has to be the correct size with, not all the restrictions that we sometimes have to, work around. This lot has it all.
Y'all talked about it so much. I had to go visit it, Trae. You know that.
Yeah.
I think, but and I didn't understand until I got there to look at it. What you're describe. What about you, Misti? What's special about 34 Waterway Island Drive for you?
This one's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be a King and Society showcase home for us. But the biggest thing that a lot of people do not realize is it has a 120-foot dock already in place. We're going to, rebuild it. It'll be even more beautiful than what it already is. But that type of dock space can potentially hold 4 boats. So that in itself is unique. And again, just what he was saying, the location, being able to see the hustle and bustle of what's going on across the waterway on Morgan Creek at the marina and, right across the the waterway from Islander 71, and the outdoor spaces that this house will offer is going to be phenomenal. I mean, you're talking roof decks, multiple deck spaces, outdoor living areas with kitchens and the pool, things like that. So that's what excites me.
Speaking of that, let's start our tour, and just the three of us could just yak as we go, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
Sounds good.
But the kitchen, it's more than a kitchen. And how it's opened up to the living room is pretty phenomenal, actually. Trae, Misti, you guys want to jump in there? What do y'all think?
Before we jump into the kitchen, I do want to kind of give you our overall inspiration for the house.
Absolutely.
And I think once you hear this, it's really everything else is going to tie in quite nicely. So, we've kind of called this home, traditional meets coastal luxury. So we wanted to take some traditional elements like the larger kitchens, because it's very important to our homeowners and their families to have a really large place to gather, break bread, hang out, have your morning coffee together as a whole. And so that whole traditional meets coastal luxury was kind of what we were using when we started going through the design process for this home. So Misti's already mentioned, we've incorporated some of your traditional spaces, like, we really, have some really nice large porches for your porch living. We were able to incorporate some really nice outdoor living space. And then we've taken some of the more traditional elements of materials to kind of then add that little bit of kind of old school flavor to it, if you will. We wanted to try to stay away from the coastal transitional. There's a lot of that being done. And to Misti's point, we wanted this house to not only be a showcase for King and Society, but we wanted it to be a showcase for the island. And it just be a true representation of something a little bit different, where you can take the old and sprinkle in some new and some luxury wow factors.
The wow factors are definitely wow, but they're not over the top. They blend in with everything else you're doing, from what I see.
They do. It's a real good mixture of materials and different palettes, where by themselves they wouldn't work, but as you kind of start to work them together as a whole, it really does bring the house to life. And
Trae, one of your strengths working with the architect. Do you like working with the architect? I know that's probably a silly question, but
yeah, I do. Really, I really enjoy working with the entire team. A lot of the building that we do in the Low Country is what we call design build. So it is a process where the client gets an architect, they select the builder, they select an interior designer. If we're handling the real estate side of that, our real estate team is involved. And that collaboration, that teamwork is what gets us the best product at the end, because everybody's looking at it from a different perspective. You got an architect looking at it from, an architectural design standpoint. You've got an interior designer that's looking at it from, furniture placements and window treatments and kind of the overall flow of the home. You have a builder that's looking at it from a constructability standpoint, right? We never want to draw something that either one's cost is going to prohibit us from doing in the field, or we never want to build something that could potentially result in maintenance issues or warranty issues for our homeowners down the road. And so when you get that entire team together and they're all bought in and they're all on the same page working towards that common goal, it's, that's where the magic happens.
It's explosive for sure. So when you walk outside, you got that pool. Tell us a little bit about that outside experience. And I know there's an outside kitchen there, is there not?
There is. So we really wanted this pool to be kind of the anchor for the outdoor living space, right? Everyone kind of gathers around the pool. So one of the things that we've done is we've made the pool have a swim up bar area. So it has an adjoining porch. So you'll be able to sit in the little swim up bar area and have a conversation with your friends and family while they're sitting on the porch. We have a very large screen TV with surround sound in that porch. So maybe talking's not your thing, so you're sitting there at the swim up bar watching the big game on Saturday night. So that's
Misty,
kind of
when Trae mentioned this, the swim up bar, I saw you smiling there. Do you like that aspect of that pool?
I love that idea. And again, I mean, that's what this house is all about, is the entertaining aspects of this house, being able to bring the family and all the friends together and get together and watch that game and enjoy the amenities that this house is going to bring.
So Troy, when you talk about the outdoor experience and the pool and everything, you have a relationship with all these different vendors. Does the same company often build the same pool for you or the same outdoor experience?
Yes, for the most part. We've worked very hard at King and Society to really build the best team. And that's from our construction team to our real estate team, all the way down to our trade partners. And, we have a certain standard that we're just simply not willing to compromise on. And so we have trade partners that have bought in to that concept and bought into that standard. And I kind of refer to us like the Alabama football team, right? We have 2 and 3 deep at each trade, because sometimes, based on schedule availability and other things, we have to sometimes adjust. But I feel we do have the best of the best. We do a lot of repeat business with our trade partners. So
I noticed the pool, it's in the back. So actually, if you're enjoying yourself in the pool, you're looking across to the marina. Is that right? Is that correct?
Yes. So you're actually kind of overlooking Morgan Creek. You've got the IOP Marina kind of right there in your backyard. And then just to the right of that is the new Islander 71 that just opened up about a year ago. So, yeah, I mean, you're right there, like I said, in the epicenter of everything that's kind of moving and shaking around that marina.
But when I was visiting the home site, you're also an exclusive area that you don't even have. I mean, you don't have to interact or do anything with that, all the busyness, but you can see it from where you
Correct.
are. That's right. Yeah, you're kind of nestled in the back there, where it really does provide a lot of privacy for this homeowner.
Correct.
How big a boat can they put on that dock? I mean, that's deep water there, right?
Pretty much the sky's the limit. I mean, with a 120-foot dock, I mean, I guess it really just depends on the width at that point,
So Bill, we've got a little special thing in the works that
Yes.
I'm not going to reveal the secret just quite yet. But we've got a marketing.
This is tantalizing.
Plan. Yes. So we're gonna be releasing something here probably in the next couple months that is really going to show just how unique a 120-foot dock is, and it's going to blow everyone's mind.
Yeah.
I have to say that dock has come up so many times. One of the reasons I went out to see this, but now I understand. I mean, it's pretty darn cool. It's 6 bedrooms, 7.5 baths, right? And the square footage of the property is, what is it, Mandy?
5,500 plus or minus.
5,538 square feet. When you go upstairs, that's where the bedrooms are, right?
Yes. So we have a master suite and a family suite that's located on the first floor. And then when you move up to the second floor, that's the remaining secondary bedrooms, along with another, what we call a mini master suite.
And where's the media room, y'all?
So the media room is on the second floor. So that the media room can either be a bedroom / or media room space. And again, I think we're leaning more towards kind of turning that into kind of a common area that has some media theater aspects to it.
Right.
It does have its own closet and its own bathroom. So again, we tailor our plans to our client's needs. And if a client has a need for that 6 bedroom versus a media room, then those are things that we kind of adjust along the way.
But that master bedroom is all one wing of the house, is it not?
Correct.
It is.
Can you take us through there, Misty? What does that look like?
Well, I'm going to defer to Trae, but yes, it's its own entire master suite, which is amazing. The master bathroom is going to be fantastic. It's going to have a sauna built into it. What else do you want to add?
Yeah. So what's really unique about what we try to do when we're laying out the design of these homes is, we want to have spaces that are great for entertaining. But then we also want to have spaces that are just great for living. And so by having kind of its own standalone master suite, you can kind of keep that side of the house more private.
Right.
So when you're entertaining, you got guests and family over, that you're in that large kitchen that we talked about earlier. But some of the really cool features to this master suite is, one, the master bedroom has probably some of the most stunning views in the home, just because of how the house is oriented on the lot. Another great feature is it has two very large walk-in closets, very large. In fact, one of the walk-in closets is almost the size of a small bedroom.
Right.
And again, that is really getting feedback from past homeowners and clients where, we build these big luxury homes and there's just not enough places to store things. And so we really wanted to incorporate that. The master even has its own laundry room area. So again, you got guests in town.
Right.
You don't want to air out your dirty laundry, so to speak. Right. So you have your own space there for laundry. And another really cool feature that's kind of different is it has its own little office area. And so again, you can be in your office kind of away from the hustle and bustle while you're entertaining. You can kind of keep that area kind of more compartmentalized from the rest of the house.
I did notice that the upstairs, you gave the guest consideration that some houses don't have. Like, it's their private little sanction, is it not?
It is. And what's really nice is, the mini master has its own porch, second floor porch, that is the exact same size as the porch on the first floor. So it's really, really large. And then the other two bedrooms, they have their own kind of roof deck as well. So every bedroom in the house has an opportunity to kind of step outside. Maybe you're having your morning coffee. If people still reading the newspaper, and you're looking over, Morgan Creek and the marina.
Yeah.
That was very important for us we wanted to incorporate that outdoor element and kind of bring it into the living space of the home.
I think it's kind of cool too, y'all. When you look at the big picture, Island Marina has just been redone. I mean, that marina I've never seen that marina look as good as it's looking now. So it's going to throw some vibes across the channel there for you guys. You know what's interesting, y'all, is my research has told me from that dock, which we're going to hear something special about it down the road.
That's correct. Stay tuned.
But
that's right.
But you can get to that dock. You can get to open water in about 30 minutes or less. Is that correct?
Yes,
that's correct.
And now listen to this, y'all. From this house, you can get to International Airport and just about the same time, maybe a little bit longer. That's kind of cool when you think of it that way. You know what I mean? So
it is. I tell you, Bill, what is super special about this home is, let's say you and your friends have spent a day out on the water. You come back and you've got, 6 to 8 boats where everyone's kind of been hanging out, maybe on capers. Everybody can come back to this home. They have plenty of room to pull up and safely dock on the 120-foot dock. We've got an outdoor kitchen area located on the ground floor. If the kids want to go hop in the pool and cool off because they've been at the beach all day, they can go up to the elevated Infinity Edge pool. There's a grill and kind of a snack and bar area up there. And you can really kind of extend your boat day into the rest of the day and have a little bit more comforts right at the edge of the dock, And so that's how I envision this home is, you're going to have people that are going to be out enjoying the waters. They're going to want to come back, maybe extend the day a little bit longer. Kids can play in the pool. Everyone's kind of throwing some hot dogs, hamburgers on the grill, maybe having a few cocktails. And it's just a really awesome.
Right. I really like the way you vividly told that story. I mean,
right.
You're almost part of that crowd coming back from the water. I mean,
that's right. I am.
We got to get a fishing scenario in this now.
We do. I mean, that's exactly right. Hey, here's your fishing scenario. You come back from trolling for, dolphin all day and you got some fresh catch you want to throw on the grill, and it's a really unique house that the location and the size of the dock and the design elements that we've been able to incorporate into this home is going to be it's going to be talked about for years to come.
Showcase home.
You know what's cool too, y'all? If somebody got a hold of you and soon enough in the process of building it, this is a spec home. As you guys know, I was intrigued by that. But it can become a custom home. If somebody gets a hold of you guys soon enough, they like what they hear and they want to know more how to do that, they get a hold of you, right, Misti?
Absolutely. I would love the opportunity to convert this.
Yeah. For those listeners, whether it's audio only or video, if they go to voiceforrealestate.com/34 Waterway, it's going to go right to pictures about the house, right to contact information. You can see that address on the screen right now if you're watching it. But hey, guys, thanks so much. Trae, I've known Misti a long time. I've always respected her, appreciate her. Trae, I've truly enjoyed meeting you. So y'all
Same,
be
Bill,
good.
Thank you as well.
And thanks again, you guys. This has been fun for me. I hope it's been fun
Bill.
for you guys.
All right. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Voice for Real Estate, where you meet local experts who provide timely information in every episode. Be sure to subscribe, share, and comment. Find Voice for Real Estate online at voiceforrealestate.com.